What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. So a couple days ago I was working on an Easter egg video for Ultra Sun and Moon, and while that video is going to happen and is still on the way, I was looking at an Easter egg / reference in particular that really caught my attention, and I decided to look a bit more into it, and once I did, it opened up a really fascinating theory about the future of Pokemon. So that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. Not only does this particular reference provide a hint at the next generation of Pokemon, if you look closely enough, it might even tell us where the next games are going to take place and what area of the world the new region will be based off of. This theory is really solid and it makes a lot of sense, so without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, now this theory starts at the latter half of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon's story in the Vast Pony Canyon. Now, at the very beginning of the Vast Pony Canyon, you'll encounter a hiker who will want to battle you. And while the battle is fairly basic, it's what this hiker says afterwards that's really interesting. Upon defeating this hiker, she will tell you that there are so many undiscovered Pokemon in the world, and that once you're done with the island challenge, you should go ahead and travel the world for yourself. Now, the fact that she says that there are flat out so many undiscovered Pokemon in the world seems like a pretty obvious hint at some sort of future Pokemon game. But in my opinion, the fact that she also says on top of this that we should travel the world once we're done with the island challenge, to me, that is her saying that once we're done with Ultra Sun and Moon, i.e. the island challenge, we should travel the world by going and playing another Pokemon game that takes place in another region where we can find all of these undiscovered Pokemon that she's talking about. So I am really convinced that this is in fact a hint at the next generation of Pokemon games, a hint at Generation 8, and if you weren't convinced yet, consider the fact that this character who gives us this hint is a backpacker, and if you remember back to X and Y, the character who gave us a hint at the Generation 7 games was also a backpacker, so I think this gives us a great amount of validity that does indeed confirm that she is hinting at Generation 8. Now that is pretty cool in and of itself, but I believe if we take a closer look at this character, that she will even tell us what area of the world Generation 8's region is going to be based off of, and the evidence is pretty convincing, so let's go ahead and take a look. Now, if we take a closer look at this backpacker, we'll find out that her name is Purdy, which is actually short for Perdita. Now, Perdita is a name that is fairly unusual and is a fairly old-sounding name that isn't really used a whole lot in today's culture. However, it does still have some notable significance. Perdita is actually the name of a character in one of William Shakespeare's plays titled The Winter's Tale, and she's actually one of the main characters in that play. The reason why all of this is so significant is because Perdita in the play is actually the daughter of the King of Sicily, which is a part of Italy, suggesting that Generation 8's region might be based on Italy. Now, I know that this is a big claim to make on such a small detail, but trust me, I have some more evidence. If we look at a map of the real world and find out where Italy exactly is on the map, we find out that it just so happens to be directly connected to France, which, as we all know, was the country that Kalos is based on. And we also know that Kalos left us with a lot, and I mean a lot, of unanswered questions. Now, I hate to beat a dead horse with this whole Kalos thing because between Generation 6 and 7, the whole concept of Kalos having a lot of unanswered questions was really beaten into the ground, and even though we've kind of moved past that, this whole concept involving Kalos and a Generation 8 region possibly based on Italy does make a lot of sense, and it's about to make even more sense with this next piece of evidence. One of the most mysterious and unfinished areas in the Kalos region is the infamous Koraway Town. Now, Koraway Town had a lot going on with it that suggested there were things we hadn't quite seen yet in relation to the Kalos region. The biggest and most significant of those things was the Koraway train station. Now, in case you forgot, Koraway Town actually has a train station that, during the events of the game, is basically abandoned and is no longer in use. However, despite not being in use, it is implied and mentioned throughout the town that the train station leads to some faraway land, and this inspired speculation that it might be going to some other region, whether it be a region we've seen before or whether a region we were yet to see. Now, if we take a look at where Koraway Town is on the Kalos map, we will see that it is at the very eastern edge of the region, which once again inspired further speculation that this train might be going to some region that we haven't seen yet that is past Kalos' borders. Now, what makes this all really interesting is that if we take a look at our real-world map and look at exactly where Italy connects to France, we will see that it connects to France on the southeastern to eastern edge of France's border, which is exactly where Koraway Town is in Kalos. So, to bring it all together, back in Generation 6, we had Koraway Town that had a lot of unanswered questions, particularly with the train station that seemed to go to some region we hadn't seen yet, but we didn't get any answers up to this point. Fast forward to Generation 7, where we run into a backpacker, which is also significant because the last time we got a hint about a future generation of Pokemon, it was also from a backpacker, and this backpacker's particular name is Purdy, which has some significance because it is the name of a character in a William Shakespeare play who is from Italy, suggesting possibly that we might get a region based on Italy. And the Italy region makes a lot of sense because Italy is connected directly to France, which is based on Kalos, and Koraway Town that has all of these unanswered questions and has a train that supposedly goes to some faraway land we haven't seen yet, is directly in position to connect to a region that would be based on Italy, since Italy connects to the eastern portion of France, and Koraway Town is on the eastern portion of Kalos. Like I said, I really hate to bring all this Kalos hoopla up again, but you gotta admit it does make a lot of sense, and if nothing else, I do sincerely believe that this backpacker is indeed hinting towards Generation 8, even if it's not towards an Italy-based region. Anyway, guys, that is my theory on this particular hint towards the future of Pokemon. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the theory, be sure to give this video a like, and let me know what you thought of the theory in the comments below, and also let me know what area of the world you want to see the Generation 8 region based on. Would you like an Italy region? Would you like to see something in maybe Ireland or Egypt or Spain or anywhere else in the world? Be sure to leave it in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because I upload Pokemon content each and every week. And with all of that being said, I will be back with another one very soon. So until then, as always, I will smell you guys later.